a serious business. We sell all electrical appliances and all of your car accessories. Come a bed stop, you know, no problem.
Best Apps Technology. Shop 25 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney. Telephone 876-394-5484. Best Apps. We only deliver the best.
Cultural Mix, an exciting radio show identifying and showcasing cultural diversity across the world through music, interviews, and lively discussions. Join Bev Moonchild on Fit FM 96.7, Fridays 6 to 8 p.m. Cultural Mix, everything cultural. Tune in. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
You've got to give. I'm standing 10 feet tall.
The Heart's Place and Wellness Center, located at 103 Main Street in Ocho Rios, now has a new location at 21 Queen Street in Falmouth, Trelawney, offering ECG, echocardiograms, stress test, 24-hour blood pressure monitoring, and adult cardiology consultations. Our opening hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. To schedule an appointment, call 876-417-5164, 876-228-8124, or email us at info@theheartplaceja.com. With a healthy heart, the beat goes on.
Willis Williams, licensed electrician services. For all residential and commercial electrical wiring, repairs, maintenance, and more, call Willis Williams, licensed electrician services at 876-823-8271 or 358-1636. Willis Williams, licensed electrician services, located in Duncan's, Trelawney.
Hi there, I'm Carlene Street, inviting you to join me every Sunday on Fit FM 96.7 for We Lickle But With Talawa, a program highlighting Jamaicans who are making significant contributions abroad and their impact on our communities. That's We Lickle But With Talawa, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. with a repeat on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
In the morning. It's exciting, sometimes romantic, and always informational. It's Love Stories on Fit FM 96.7, Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join me, Queen G, for cutting-edge conversations and advice about love and relationships to spice up your love life. Love Stories, building healthy relationships. Don't miss it. 'Cause I am your lady.
Do you have home repairs or maybe renovation? How about a fresh coat of paint with a splash of customized color? Visit Carib Sales Hardware in Duncan's, Trelawney, and let us help you with everything you need for your home. You name it, we have it. Call us at 876-954-2220. Carib Sales Hardware. You name it, we have it.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments. Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. Greetings to all my listeners on Facebook, YouTube, wherever in the world you are. It's Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And we are welcoming you this evening to an awesome lineup. So much to talk about, so little time. Don't miss it now. So remember, you have to be on the ball. We want you to communicate with us. We love when you listen, and I enjoy when you tell me later on how the program was good and all of that. But we want you to interact with us also. So remember now, this evening you can join us on our WhatsApp line at 876-482-4944 or on message, call our WhatsApp on 876-317-1991. And so we are listening for you to interact with us this evening. Join us on YouTube, of course, and on Facebook. We'll take your comments as we see them. But if you come onto those two lines, we get you quicker. And if you want to join us by sending a voice note or giving us a call, we'd welcome it. So remember now, it's Healing Moments. And as always, Healing Moments join with the call for elimination of violence against women and girls. And we will not stop saying it until we see it start to happen. Right? And this evening, my guest will be Fabian Thomas, and we'll be talking about domestic violence against our girls and our women. And we know our men sometimes are impacted too. So we're going to have that conversation this evening. But you know the drill. You're going to call a friend, get your sip, get your pen, and listen to this until you come right back.
Yeah, man. Yo, Izzy, are you kidding me? Why you believe me? Try to do my best, follow purpose all the way till the massive on a season. Now to the rest, I pre them vibes are from what day. What is the reason? How them I going like some never pour one time? My head is not up in the sky. Oh, you don't know what goes on here behind my smile. Me, I make them know every day is a choice for right. That's how it go, vampire, try to take my life. Will not forget this voice inside. 'Cause I'm blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, yeah. I'm blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, yeah. Talk to God and him tell me to keep on pursuing. Hold me together for he is my glue. Without him in no mood I do I'd be ruined. Inside me there is a fire brewing. The good book tell me send no weapon formed against me. So me now worry what them plan to come and do. I'm blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, yeah. I'm blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, yeah. I'm blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, yeah. I'm blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed, yeah. Whoa.
Oh, yes, I am blessed, so blessed by Savannah. I thank you, girl. We have to count our blessings. It doesn't matter what is going on. There's so much to be thankful for. And I continue to give thanks and I continue to praise conscious reggae music around here in our midweek meds and healing moments, because we know good music can heal the soul, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to shout out to all my studio friends and family and sisters I see I have online. Mm-hmm. Miss Gillian is here joining with me already. Evening, Gillian, good to have you. And all the others who are joining on. And if you don't see a friend, give them a link up and tell them Healing Moments is on and we are rocking tonight. Right. I want to start off with a little ranting. What is wrong with the thieves, them? Why they won't leave flow and digital cable lines alone? They keep taking it down for the cupboard. You know, two thief, man, hey. And when you not do this, you're not impacting the companies alone, you know. You're impacting the children in the communities who can't get to do their work. Monday, it affected my work so badly. Tuesday, I had to wait to leave my house to go to a little place where I could pick up anything. We need to do better than that, man. Come on. With thief all comes light. That is JPS. We take floor and digital cable. What is wrong with us? Let us do better. Because when you do this, you're not affecting the big man alone, as you may think. You're impacting your very community in which you live. And just imagine, you steal the floor cable and digital, and the system crash and down, and there's an emergency in your community, and we need to either get the hospital or get the police. And because of your actions, we cannot get either of them. We need to do better, right? And another note now, for me, this is good, Julia. I tell you, I have been having some blessings despite the challenges. I chair the Library Advocacy Committee at the library and in Falmouth. Well, the Advocacy Committee covers Trelawney, but our base is really in Falmouth. As you know, I was instrumental in we getting our library in Clarkstown. So Falmouth Network not only own the library in Falmouth, no, they also own at least one community library, which is in Clarkstown. Can I tell your listeners? We have land. The library now owns a piece of land in Stewarttown, another community in Trelawney, and we want to build a library there also. So if you're out there listening and you have any contacts that can help us to raise the funds to do this, from the advocacy chair, I'm asking you to partner with us. And for my advocacy committee members, thank you for your continuous support, because I must also say, thankfully, the Tourism Enhancement Fund and us are now partnering to fence, listen here, to fence the Falmouth Library properly. So we are working on that. There are some persons who will be getting letters from us for things, like our MP will be getting a letter from us because we want some nice roads to go down to the library now. And we're also seeking partnership to create a nice, we want to do some nice work at the front there, set up a nice garden, cultural garden with nice plants and putting up notices and benches to enhance the tourism product of the library and for our own local comfort. So things are happening in the parish despite COVID happening, the committees and teams are working. And so we are asking you, as the library advocacy chair, I'm asking you to partner with us. And I must tell you, we are now starting up the Friends of the Library Association. And if you are interested in being a part of that, let us know. And you do not have to live in the parish to be a member, because we have on the form for international partners, local partners, and youth partnerships. So we are asking you to partner with us at the Library Advocacy Committee and Friends of the Library, that together we can help to keep our people reading in fine style in Jamaica, right? So we need your help with that. Another word, we want you to remember, if you take the COVID vaccine, still wear your mask and observe all protocols, because it is important that you still do so. Hi, the one shot couldn't protect you so quick, so now left your yard without your mask. And I have it on my thing to speak about today. And I noticed Janet Sylvia, I'm going to go talk to business. I noticed that Janet had the same conversation on Facebook a little before I left my house. I saw she had the same conversation advising persons, please to wear your mask even if you got the vaccine. And I got the vaccine and I am feeling really good. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. I know my guest is joining me now, but I'm going to talk before him come on. Good. I am getting some calls from some women who have done the vaccine. So if you are any of those and you're listening in, touch base with us, let we hear your story. A lot of women who are now saying that what is the word I should use, Julia? Them start feel very perky and frisky since they took the vaccine. I'm trying to keep it PG. You know, they're feeling very frisky. I don't know what I mean. So don't listen and wonder what she's talking about. Wherever you are across the world listening to me this evening, it's a Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. Yes, a lot of ladies. I don't hear anything from the men as yet. I know men don't talk so quick about that thing there. But I hear the ladies talking about how they start to feeling a little frisky and riding all of a sudden. One lady tell me, say she had go down a cemetery side, go sit down side of the husband grave. I don't know how that help her, but it seems to help her somehow. Another lady said to me, Lord, Dr. Asha is a good thing. We'll have extra battery for this something. So I said, with something, girl? She said, the vibrator. You know what, the vibrator? Yes. So I see my guest laughing, and him is the man, and him the take it to say, I go tell me if not that go on for him. But I hear the ladies talking, or maybe it's just ladies that impacting that way. But I am saying to you, be cautious, be careful, don't do anything you're going to regret a morning. Behave yourself. And guess what? I am going to give you a little challenge. I am putting Jillian on the spot tomorrow. When Queen G comes on tomorrow evening, if you are one of those with the grinding feelings, call her, tell her. She might have some solution for you, right? She might be able to tell you something. I don't know. I'm just saying. But if not, tell me. I will tell her. Because listen to me, these are the things we need to talk about. You know, Healing Moments is about anything and everything that impacts your life. And so therefore, child, if you're having that kind of feeling, nothing is wrong with you. It's just telling you that things still work and you get an extra boost and you must enjoy it. And if you don't have anybody, no run go look anybody. Be careful. And you know, I don't know the man them talk about Mrs. Palm. I don't know what the ladies them call it, but you might be able to help yourself, right? I'm not telling you what to do now. I'm just giving you safe suggestions that you don't get yourself into any trouble. This feeling will pass. All right? I am going to behave myself. The other things I have to talk about, I think I can talk about them when my guest joins me. So I'm going to save the rest for later. So listen to this little clip of music, and then I will invite my guest into the conversation.
My way over. Wandering I am lost as I travel along wide cliffs of Dover. Many rivers to cross, and it's only my will that keeps me alive. I've been licked, washed up for years, and I merely survive because of my pride. But loneliness won't leave me alone.
Hello, yes, we are back. We have many rivers to cross. And so this evening, Fabian Thomas, my guest, and I will talk about some of the rivers we have to cross and how we think we're going to cross it. Right? So, good evening, Fabian. How you doing, dear?
Greetings and salutations. You hearing me?
Yes, hearing you beautifully, my friend. I'm hearing you.
Lovely, lovely. I am giving thanks. I'm giving thanks. I'm grateful. I'm pressing on and pushing through
Yes.
in the covidity of it all.
In the COVID, I like how we love take liberation with people words, Last Miss Buddha Shada, Yes, in the covidity of all, I learned a new word. Yes, I am open to learning, Yes, I'm open to learning. Yes, man. I'm not wrong if we make it 1 hour as we is Jamaican.
Thank you.
Yes. So
my colleague Emma Lewis told me that I should copyright that work. When she heard it, she said she thought it was lovely, and she actually quoted me in an article she wrote.
Awesome. So if me use it now, me owe your copyright laws.
Thank you, please. Thank you, please. Thank you, please.
Friend preference. What is wrong with you? I'm claiming friend preference. So I don't have to pay you anything. So
there you go.
Before we go into this largest conversation we're going to have this evening, tell my listeners who you are.
Wow, I am a Jamaican British man. I'm grateful to be here. I call myself a transformational trainer and facilitator. I'm also a life coach and a corporate coach.
Yes.
I am a teacher, a lecturer. I lecture in cultural studies. I teach drama, I teach theater arts, literature. I'm a developer of people. I'm also a mentor, and I mentor a lot of youth. I believe mentorship is a very important part of life.
Yes.
And I'm a performing arts specialist. And also writer and all these things. I write and I write poetry, and I have working on the final draft of my second book.
Okay, looking forward.
Actually, look how me I talk about my third book. Because the second one is out. I still without seeking publishers.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And you have a group, man. What the group name? Tell the people.
So I'm the founder and artistic director of a performing arts collective called Tribes and Kofa.
Right.
I'm very, very proud of my tribers, and we function like a family. I want it to be. It's a healing space as well as a performing arts space, because I'm equally concerned about who they are in their lives and in the world, as well as on stage. So that's really important to us and how we function.
Family.
Yes.
Awesome. And I was saying to Julia this evening, I've known Fabian for quite some time. Yes, man. We only navigate the HIV space and the darkness space and the other space. We're always in each other's space doing something.
Yes.
And so when this topic came up, it was a no-brainer for me to contact you to come in speaking not only from a Jamaican perspective, not only from a human perspective, but also from the perspective of being a man in this climate that we are now operating.
Yes.
And what are we talking about? Domestic violence, intimate partner violence, these things. I hear one of my colleagues, Ed, saying that we should stop talking about violence against women and just call it violence alone. But we can't do that.
No.
Broad brush will not work in this climate that we are operating. We are concerned about all violence. However, we have to look at some of the specifics.
Yes.
So I'm going to set a little background for how I looking at the conversation, and then you can put your spin to it. We have all these, don't worry yourself. But there are two things that came at me rapidly, and then others add to it, but I won't go into all of them. They will come up as the conversation go along. Two things that came at me rapidly, though, was that video with that gentleman beating that woman. It was almost like a knee and my neck moment, the length of it, and the continuation of it. For me, I had so many concerns. I had a concern about the person who was patient enough to sit down and video all of that, and just sit down and video it, and I didn't hear the person giving any emotional feeling about videoing it. I saw somebody came out of a house, walk, and when they realized the violence started, they hurried and went back inside not to have to deal with that. I saw one person walk down, couldn't get anywhere, and walked away. I looked at the whole demographic of what happened. I don't care about the stories behind who is who. That is not what matters to me personally at this time. Is the who man who, woman, and what happened. That their title don't matter. Who married to whom don't matter. I am looking at it. I'm also looking at the fact that the way the beating was done or the fight, whichever you want to call it, this man couldn't be his first time. That is my opinion, right? The other concern I have, Fabian, is that child that ran away. And it was advertised that the child ran away, but the child ran away to her mom. And then the whole demographic behind it of who signed the papers for this child to be adopted. Then it seems like this family become a godfather, godmother kind of situation to the entire family and have them under their thumb. You know, the whole demographics. So these are some of the things I'm looking at in relation to how we're reaching to the violence or children going missing. And that is where my headspace is. So I'm going to stop talking, Fabian. And you hear my head there. And it know that one pretty place. So from your perspective, the things you have been seeing, the things you have been hearing, let us talk. Talk to me.
And this is, you know, we're in an unprecedented time. So a lot of things are heightened. You know, I think there's more on the news. We are paying more attention, so it's hitting a lot of people who weren't paying attention before. It's hit them hard now because it's all over the news. You're there on lockdown. You're hearing about it. We have to pause as a society. I'm the country coordinator for Cariman, Caribbean Male Action Network, and we have been talking about ways of engaging men and boys around violence, around aggression, but also around being healthier men. We have to raise healthier men and boys.
Oh yes.
We are raising some seriously broken, damaged men and boys. And people, anybody who say, oh, not all men, that's not what we're saying. And I always say to people, check yourself when you go there. Why do you need to go there?
Yes.
It's just like when people say, when you say Black lives, all lives matter. That's not the point. We're talking about the killing of Black people now. So we are talking about violence against women and girls perpetrated at the hands of men. Do women inflict violence on other women? Yes, but that's what we are talking about now.
That's not what
so
we're talking
we have a couple of issues, and your colleague who talked about who wanted to broad stroke it with violence.
Yes.
We are a violent nation. We are, and we have to look at all violence, but then look at the specific type of violence. So there's violence of men against men, there's violence against the elderly, there's violence against the homeless, there's violence against the mentally ill. But I think what we are seeing a drastic increase and visibility of is violence against women and girls.
Yes.
And you have the beatings as seen on that video.
Yes.
But you also have the brutal disseminating of the bodies of women and girls. There's a rage that you see when you hear the stories. You know, the case of the ambulance driver who threw gasoline at the young lady to set her on fire. Because too many of our men are not emotionally intelligent.
True.
They don't have the vocabulary and the ability to express feelings and hurt and anger, so you take it out on the woman. Also, we have to match up this culture of ownership. You don't own nobody. And I say to men all the time, if you decide to spend your money on a woman or a young lady, that's a choice you make. It does not mean she belongs to you.
Amen.
And yes, we're not saying, nobody is saying people must trick people and spend out their money. But when you choose to, ask yourself, what are you expecting in return? When you spend money, you think, say, you're entitled to something. So that fault and flaw is with you because you are trying to buy the person.
Yes.
And you think you now own them and they must do what you say.
Yes.
And let's say a lot of men, as you know, there's a lot of men, them say, boy, you know, now old jealous son, man, a dog, and man, a lot of men can give on, but them cannot take one.
Listen to me. A man told me once that what women give is born. So no, what man give is born. So it just burn the woman, but what woman give, it burn. Burn. That's
and the reality is, look here, what's fast for the use is fast for the gander.
Yes.
So we also have to look at how we're teaching relationships and healthy relationships and walking away. And if something doesn't work, this thing of you have to stay with me, you have to stay with me. And sometimes, look here how badly I'm treating you. How dare you leave me?
And most
And
times, Fabian, when a man buy the woman with his gifts, he also not only him not nice. It's not like it's a loving treatment you get afterwards. A lot of these women are not being treated with love. Is this one you and me treat you as me please attitude now that tends to drive the women away?
And here's the thing, though, that's interesting, and even with the addition of that kind of anger and aggression, in some relationships, that becomes normalized. The lovelessness, and even that, looking at societally, for some people, it's almost like an economic agreement.
Yes.
It's not about love. It's not about affection. It's not
No.
about caring. It is about, the saying, what you can do for me. It is
Yes.
literally that. And then for the men now, it's bragging rights. Come and have 3 women and look how them skin clean, look how them stay good and but it's not about. I was talking to some young men and I said, when you look at the horrible, terrible things being done to women by men who say them love women, it is frightening.
That I love me
I
now.
said, because if you say you love woman and you are gallis and you're straight and you're and you do this to women, suppose you didn't hate them.
Talk the truth.
Suppose you didn't hate them. So something, and even here's the other thing, and you mentioned it earlier, social media has brought this around. It is a weird kind of observer's bystander thing, but you're bystanding and you're recording it. So nobody's intervening, nobody's crying alarm, but you have the presence of mind to record, because there's also bragging rights for that if you can get that on social media. And my thing is, when you check, very rarely did the person who recorded it carry it to the police. They put it on social media first.
Thank you.
And even when it shows the victimization of a child, so it's not I want to be a citizen who reports, because they're not reporting to the police.
No.
But on social media, because them say, look, me must it first.
Yes.
So we have to, the bystander thing, we as men have
Almost
to
like
say to ourselves and our brethren, when you hear, first of all, worse if you see somebody being abused. You see a girl or a woman being abused, or something, you hear the way somebody's being spoken to. We cannot afford to turn with eye and up in a man. We can't afford it.
We cannot afford it.
We can't afford it. Because also you hear some people telling you, some young people, I'm not so young, tell you that they lose hope because they know people knew. Them asked for help.
Nobody did anything.
And nobody did anything. And you remember years ago, and I forget the community that big them up when the mother and father sent their daughter to live with the man up on the hilltop.
Yes.
For the land, and is the community said, and the community reported, the community said, them claims that she gonna spend time with, but we know. And the community, they called, it was CDA then, and said, this family has given away their child. So they come, and we need more of that. We cannot.
Fabian, we need
men, when you hear your brethren talk out in face, stop him.
Yes.
When you see him treating him, stop him. When you see him with that woman, you know it's not his daughter, it's a little girl. We cannot afford to co-sign the bad behavior and then act like we don't know. We can't afford that anymore because our women and girls are under siege.
Fabian, I remember when I was much, much younger. I remember when I went to college, and Kingston was a new experience for me. And when we see some of the violence against women that took place in Kingston at that time, we used to hear this saying, that can't happen in a country. If a country come together and take care of that. And we used to hear that saying, and we grew up with that saying. Say, if a country tried that, but no.
And here's what's sad. Here's what is sad. And all dots connect.
Yes.
When we had in our country our politicians in bed with gunmen.
Ah, boy.
And the gunman them turned down.
Yes.
And became laws unto themselves.
Yes.
And we're now brutalizing communities.
And
people afraid to talk, so inform if they take over. So now you people free, and some people rightly so, because sometimes, and this is sad, when them go police go report something before them leave somebody in the station has
Yes.
called the criminal to say,
Yes.
Fabian Thomas, just so you can call the name. So some people are legitimately afraid.
Yes. Fabian, I'm gonna a little side talking. I remember many years ago, I saw something happening and I called a police station and I reported it. I didn't identify myself because I'm not looking no and no money when they
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I just reported it and hung up. But apparently the superintendent at the time who took the call knew my voice.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up the young men that I saw was doing wrong things. So he did get them. But the gentleman said, when me get to the young man them in my vehicle and tell me thanks. No, me, it was like, thanks for what?
What would you, yeah? Why would you, yeah? It's,
And he said, what? I said, really, somebody can report that? I wish I did see it.
mm,
Imagine that. And I had to use my head. And
yeah.
he went away. Afterwards, I called him at the station. I said, hi, what is that you did? And he said, oh, I lost my thought. I said, you are
Mm-hmm.
not allowed to lose a
You're
train of
not
thought.
allowed to,
When
no, you're not
you lose
allowed
a
to.
thought, you cost a life.
You're not allowed to. And that is
You're
one of
not
the sad
allowed to.
things that a lot of people are afraid. Or the other thing, when it's man and woman
Yes.
story, and then you get involved, and the woman you try to protect son by you.
Thank you. Because when
But
two
instead you say, they say, me,
up in
thank
between.
you. So
But
it's,
you know,
so we
Fabian,
have to,
anyways, before you move on though, as even though I said that, I want to back it up to say to persons, if you know things happening in your community, there are many ways to
many ways,
call and report it
tell
without
somebody.
yourself.
And especially with children, you don't have to give
Thank
your
you.
name. With
Don't have
children, you don't have to show. You just have to have a suspicion in
a
your belly
suspicion.
bottom. The
Yes.
ear by your neck back stand up when you see this child.
Mhm.
You because the organizations in which will investigate. You
Right.
don't have to know, for
You
especially
have to be sure.
children. But we are duty bound to report. And let me tell you, 8 times out of 10, that feeling you
But
feel,
right.
something in a something.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
also have to make it safe. And when I taught in high school, this was really a really painful lesson for me. There's a lot of people, and again, there's a lot of amazing, blessed teachers who love the profession.
Oh yes. Yeah,
Teaching
some
is ministry. I maintain that teaching is ministry
mm-hmm.
and it is not for everybody. And it's not ministry where you have no Bible, it's ministry because it's your calling.
Yes.
Some people nothing in a teaching
It's true, you know. It's
because
true.
they are traumatizing because they are hurt, they are broken and
Yes.
damaged, and they're
They're
damaging the
feeding and they're
students.
feeding on other
The
people.
students must feel safe. They must be safe. They must be protected by the teachers and administration. And here's the other thing: the school must also make sure the teachers feel safe
That again
because
too.
you have some teachers in some schools who afraid of students,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and rightly so. You have some female teachers who afraid to a certain class because boys are gonna. We can't live so. We can't have spaces and situations in hospitals wherever where people are afraid because we have not done the work as a society to say this is not tolerable. The other day I said to my taxi driver, the young men out by the stoplight,
Oh Lord.
uh, by Devon House. They are intimidating because them gather around what them think is the hype car, the people them can't drive. And I'm like, that's not right. People are not going to be sympathetic for you. You out here trying to make a bread, but you are now intimidating and bullying people. And you see, when women tell you when them do them, when them sees a woman in the car,
Oh dear.
turn up. So there's this violence and aggression all over. A colleague of mine recently shared on social media. She ran into a man car, so she was wrong and she apologized. She come out, and the man tell her about her body part, and him start and him shout, and when him now start to really go now into our intimate body part,
Mm-hmm.
and the people are watching, men people are watching.
Nobody's saying
Nobody not
anything.
nobody not intervene. When she now said, she said she drafted the dirtiest word she could have find.
Oh
The
boy.
man them start to say, no, my sister, you need to go answer. The
Ah.
men who were silent all along now said to her, the woman, you
Mm-hmm.
know, have to go answer. And she said, what you say? She said, when he was telling me about the part, I mean, all part of my body, you said nothing.
Right.
And when I now have the nerve to defend myself,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you have a voice to say, Me not have to go answer. So
Mm-hmm.
something has gone awry.
Of society.
The woman must have said nothing. She must take it cussing, and you not defending her. You know, say my youth, hold it down. But when she now says it's so you see from the
When she
learning, from the
take a stand
teaching,
for
from the
herself.
classroom, from
Yes.
how we're socializing boys and girls, what we're
Mm-hmm.
teaching them about. You see, a friend of mine, we're talking, and we said, she said she actually felt guilty. We were doing a show on parenting, and something had happened, and she said she thought to herself, "Boy, I'm so glad I have boys."
Mm-hmm.
And she thought, but that's an awful thing. Because she said, it's not about having, it's about make sure you don't raise a rapist.
Yes.
When you make sure you don't raise a rapist. And how do you do that? You
That's
talk about people's rights and respect, and you talk about no. You talk about we have to start to have those conversations from early. And the bullying and pressuring people. And
Yes.
we have to talk about how you speak to people. We have to do
Mm-hmm.
because you see what we are seeing now? And even that whole thing that, with gangs, some of them is a gang initiation, they just go kill somebody, them no business. So
Mm-hmm.
when we have young men, youth who are so detached from us, who are so detached and broken, the case with the teacher at Warpad is a
Oh,
youth in the community who apparently was troubled from he was in high school, how him slip through the system. Mental health is real. Mental health is a real, and here's the thing, and it's sad, but we have to find a way. Every single school in Jamaica should have a psychologist or a therapist
yes.
assigned to the school.
Yes. But you see now the system that we
Because
have
the
now
guidance counselors cannot do it
not
alone.
manage. And the system have like 2 or 3 persons for serve one whole
And
region.
people can't, and your average family can't afford it. So some
No.
of them tell you, some of the mothers, when you talk to some of the parents, it's heartbreaking. They tell you they tried, but when them get the little free screening, for some of them, it's $80,000 a pop. It's how much $1,000 a visit. Them
See,
can't afford that.
that's why me thank God me have somebody to buy me dinner. Because it's also free work me do. Because the people them cannot afford it and I cannot afford to sit down and let another generation come
Thank you.
like the
And
one
as
who's
you
going
know,
through. So they come to me and me just have to say yes, come.
and as you know, the list. Let's look at something separate but connected. The
Yes.
list to get your child screened for learning disabilities or Michael
It's a
is three
long
or 4 years long.
yes, it's a long list.
Because if you go to a specialist privately, it's close to $100,000.
Mm-hmm. It's a
The
long
average parent can't afford that. You can't
most
afford
of us
that.
3/4 Jamaicans cannot
So
afford.
you realize that by the time that 4 year pass, the picnic gone through high school,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or graduate.
And turn man no one now go look no help because
So
him
we
can't.
have this
And
case
then
with this
again,
young
he
man in
can't afford
Clarendon.
the help
This
either.
case in Clarendon where this boy apparently was known to be to be off from he was in school.
Can you imagine?
So I'm in the community now and I kill people and
And fall
it,
through the
it's it's
cracks, man.
and that happens too often.
Very often, Fabian.
And it's hard, it's hard, but
Hard.
again, that thing I said about teaching being ministry, one of the things, and I know it's a gift that spirit and the ancestors give me, and more teachers need it. You have to read your classroom. You have to see every child.
Yes. Yes.
You have to watch behavior. You have to look at responses. Some children, what they call their affect is off. Them
Mm-hmm.
either always angry, some of them very quiet, some of them always sad, and you have to take your time to get around to that child. So sometimes we'll observe them, and sometimes we say, "Come here after class." You see,
Mm-hmm.
when I teach in high school, you see, when I pick this up, tie them asleep in my class, me make them sleep. Why am I
Yes,
forcing them to stay awake?
yes.
And guess what? If it's a consistent thing, I say, come here. Why are you so tired all the time? And them tell me it's either them are selling in the shop at night time to help get money, them on
Mm-hmm.
the road, or somebody coming into them room and molesting them in the night. Or them not eat a morning time, them travel long, so them hungry. But I'm not gonna force you to sleep. I can teach you again later. And if I see a pattern, I say, come here,
Do
come
an
here.
intervention.
Why,
Yes.
why you why you so sleepy? And they will tell you. One little girl I teach at high school, I said to her, I said, you seem so sad. She said to me, sir, this is a second farmer,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I think about my life
Oh my.
and the tears spill, and I said to me, He said, but baby girl, don't you lie? Don't live yet. She said, sir, and the tears just spilled out of her eyes. And she said, you know, sir, and she said, sometimes I'm hungry. I say, you're hungry this morning? She said, yes, sir. And I gave her some money. It wasn't lunch, and I wrote her a note as I go to the canteen, and it was from me. And the next class she came, and she walked up, she smiled and said, come here. I said, did I just see your teeth? Are you smiling? Come here. Somebody write this down.
Yeah.
And that third class, when she was leaving, she hugged me from behind. Quick, when she was passing. And run out. And I said to her, you can talk to me about anything. I said anything. I said some things I have to report, but anything I have to report, I'm gonna tell you first. But we have to create safe spaces for our girls and our boys.
I'm gonna tell you this today. I don't want to talk where I was when I saw the thing because I don't want to pinpoint anybody. But I was at a certain spot today doing something else, not very close, but close enough to overhear. A child talking to a broomstick. This little boy, if he's in grade 1, him catch far. Young little something. And he was talking to the broomstick, and him hold the broomstick, and him shake the broomstick, and he talk to the broomstick. And then he said to the broomstick, "Me realize you're not listening to me, no little girl. Every time I talk, you're not hearing." And him hold the broomstick, and he kick down the broomstick. And then he stick again, and he backs the broomstick. And him harass the broomstick real good. And then there was a cord tied up on a fence post, and him say, "You want me hang up on that?" Then his mom, I don't know if she heard what he was saying or she just saw the actions.
Right.
Called him and said, "Go put down the broomstick, the broom." And he went and put down the broom. But he went now and held on to the rope. And said, "The girl want me hang her upon this." He was talking to another little boy, 2 same age. And the mother called him. And she was saying to him, "You see, me they hang nobody around here," and him harass her. But he didn't know she used abuse now to teach him a lesson. So he was abused. Another boy passing, a bigger boy, it looked like he's in his early teens, passing, and his word was, "You see, because that girl they big, so she had a little boy. He was so he can manage the girl, let me teach them a lesson." And I listened to all of that played out.
You see the circle?
And I see that in the next 5-6 years happening all over again with them if no intervention is done.
And you see what happened with that boy now, and this is why we need to broaden our interventions.
Yes.
There's something called play therapy, where you observe children at play, you listen to what they say, you use art therapy, you look at what they draw. You drama therapy, we have to start to use creative interventions.
You have to
and make up because if you pay attention, you pick it up.
That is it. I used to use that a lot with my kids, especially when I send them for holidays and they come back. I used to allow them to play and observe, so I know what.
So where you hear that word from? Come here.
I
fight them. They say, "Come here. I heard you say something. Where you hear that word from?"
That's how I grow my
kids. And the child now clams up. They don't want to talk to you.
Me have conversation. Me have go play.
Let me tell you. We have to, at all levels of our society,
yes,
home, church, police, club, but we also need to be kinder. Yes. We need to. In some, I think it's Finland and some of those islands abroad, them don't what we call first form. Them don't teach no subject that year.
No, they teach like
they do diversity, emotional intelligence. They do teamwork. That's what, and then in the second form, and that makes perfect sense to me. We need some classes on kindness, respect, diversity, working together. We need to have children talk about differences. You know, this child is what we call albino. It's a skin condition. This boy has freckles. This boy has what is called a cleft palate. You name things.
Make things practical.
And then you create a space where nobody is disrespected. Sometimes you hear kids being called disrespectful name, and the teacher I call the same name.
The teachers.
The name that is victimizing the child, or sometimes it's the teacher gives the child the name.
The other day, someone asked me why. I know people nicknames, but if I know your correct name, that's the name I call you. And so she said to me, why you always have to call out the people them name? I saw some people call them. I said to her, from a child growing up, I learned the danger of calling people nicknames. I am not afraid of nickname. Maybe that's why I don't have any to my face. Maybe I have something in my back. I answer to anything I'm called. It normally goes away. But I remember I was living in Lucy in Johnsontown, and there was this man, he had one wooden foot. And they trouble this man and they call him, I think, PB Pabap or some story like that.
That's a name, yep.
And that man used to run down people's children with his machete because he couldn't manage nicknames.
Yep.
I don't do it.
And when I was teaching in high school, I used to call again. I believe in calling people by their name. I really good with names.
So I believe in calling people.
Otherwise, you know what I call them? I said, "Come here, princess. Come here, prince. Come here, king. Come here, queen. Come here, precious one. Come here, beloved." And without fail, those children tell me, sister, nobody ever called me anything like that.
Yes. I call them lady.
Come here, princess. Come here, young lady, royalty. Come here, king. Come here. And then we also and I said, a king doesn't dominate nobody. I said, but you are royalty.
Yes.
And you have to speak over our, and then we also have to look at what our children need. The children in the classroom who are being left behind, who come in with emotional issues, who are we re-traumatizing them in the education system? I keep saying to people, how are we going to withhold love and affection and kindness from boys and expect them to be kind when they grow up?
Listen to me, man. We have to change the story. We have
if we are bullying back after them and thump and kick them, where are they learning to love and be kind? And where are we creating spaces for? So some of the work that we want to do in Karaman is we want to do workshops and sessions with boys, with men, with fathers and sons, talking about being a good man, being a good youth, but also healing trauma in boys and men, and talking about what does it mean to respect women and respect girls, and you don't have to be a bully, you don't have to, and also to talk about what is the fullness of being a boy and a man. You're talking about that there are times when you may be aggressive and violent and you get praised for it because you protected your mother. But if that becomes the way you function all the time, I say you have to now recognize in that moment, was this required of me, or am I being violent throughout my life all the time?
Yes.
And talking about feelings of being overwhelmed and wanting love and expressing that we have to shift. And it's in the world, but at Jamaica, we there particularly. And we also have to look at parenting. We cannot, the case with Kirk Franklin the other day, me love Kirk. He's a big Kirk Franklin, but Kirk wrong. And I was so angry at people who kept saying he didn't need to apologize. I'm like, yes, he does. I said, because clearly his son has issues and it's been going on for a while. But the rage that was in Kirk's voice on that tape, and the way he spoke to his son, tell him I will put my foot wherever, and you break your neck. No, sir, no. And then his friend John Drummond was laughing in the background, and I was like, what kind of friend are you? Why would this be funny? Your friend is physically threatening his son on the phone, and you are cackling like a hyena as opposed to trying to talk him down?
Don't know better.
And then, as you said, that we're going to shift gears now. I don't know if you saw my post about Lanikia, the young lady, the little girl who went missing.
Yes.
I watched that whole very long interview with the mother, and I said, something is not right.
Something not right.
There's a whole heap of gaps and holes in the story.
That's my thing.
And like you said, because the aunt also lived there. The aunt and her child lived there as well. The mother is the one who was the go-between with the family.
Yes.
The grandmother.
Yes.
So the mother, she said, and she said, the mother come and said they need a picture of her and adoption and da. So how the mother was the arbiter of the adoption?
Yes.
And so
how is it that the child was adopted and the mother don't know?
Is it even legal?
That is my question. How is it the child was adopted and the mother never said anything?
And then the child said she's suicidal. That the mother's the reason because she tell herself, I'm going to kill myself.
That is it.
I'm thinking, somebody please tell me that this is, and then even you go further now. The mother used to be a go-go dancer
Yes. And she tried
who
to.
has 9 children,
Mm-hmm.
and that she couldn't manage. And now, and so you have to pass out the children, but also when you look at this relationship she's now currently in
Okay.
with a nice person who's abroad who send her things.
Yes.
There's issues all over the story, and I'm thinking,
All over the
I, do,
story.
I don't want the next chapter to hear that the little girl dead or something, but
I am
something is not right
concerned.
in that story. Something is not right,
So
and
I
I
am
was like,
very, very concerned because I would
me
like to
too.
know how this story is being penciled out. I would like to know the intervention that is being done for this child
Yeah,
because
because
it
I
does
believe,
not
because the mother said,
back home.
she
The
said,
background is
I couldn't stand by and make her kill herself.
mm-hmm.
She never lied. She said yes. Me tell her to come to me. She did not. She said yes, but she said when my child tell me say,
Mm-hmm.
me gonna make sure me do it right this time.
Listen
And
to
even that, so I said, have they investigated? Did Lamika or was she manipulating the mother? I really, and I pray that
mm-hmm.
they're both safety and protect, but I hope that a proper investigation,
It's
because
being done
even
an
that, a
intervention
girl like Lamikia is also prime target now for
statistic.
molestation,
Yeah.
for all sorts of things. Is this a healthy home? So as a nation, we have to, our social service systems, who we are as a people, the culture, we have to shift. We have to shift the paradigm then. And we have
Mm-hmm.
to start. No, 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 no. We have to, I mean, getting a team of
No,
people who are trained to go into school, go online, have the conversation, to talk. This is when I was teaching, because sometimes, they say, okay, the lesson plan that we teach tomorrow or next week, because when something come up, they say, okay,
I have to break
and
that
this we are
down.
dealing with today.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to somebody, I said, what did you just say to her? Call her the name again. Stand up and say the name so we can hear. I said, when you call her that, what you mean? And then I said, I want to make you apologize. You know why? And a lot of them know. I said, because it's so, I will break it down. And I said to the person, I said, when them call it that, how you feel, I will break it down. And I used to say to my classes, everybody in my class deserves respect.
Yes.
Nobody's going to be bullied inside here. And it used to break my heart because the students used to say to me, sir, you are the only teacher who ever said these things to us.
Yes.
And sometimes when I say them, when they meet me, they don't believe me enough. The last school I taught, all girls school, drama class, and I said to them, I said, look here, I am going to attempt to respect you at all times. I'm not going to, and I said, if I do or say something that hurts your feelings or makes you, I will apologize. And them say, sir, please, stop it, with me. And them
Yes.
say, no, and them say, sir, them stop me, them say, sir, no bother. Them say,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, adults, teachers don't apologize to students, because we always
We need to
wrong.
say sorry to our young people. We
They
must learn.
said to me, you know, when them say, them say, sir, no matter with it. Adults, parents, teachers do not apologize to young people because we're always wrong. And about a week later, there's a situation with a young girl in the class, one of the students, and she was trying to explain to me her why she was that. And I never listened. I brushed her. I said, look, foolishness. Blah, 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 blah. And when class finished, she waited everybody left. She came. She said, sir, I really felt like you never gave me a chance to talk. She said, I know you were angry, but you kind of shut me up. I was trying to explain to you, and she tell me what happened. And I said, oh God, I'm really, really sorry. I said, remind me next week when drama class come. I said, I'll write it down. And before the class started, because I didn't say I owe an apology. So the class stopped. You could hear a pin drop.
Yes, it makes a difference,
And a
Fabian.
couple of girls who said it, she said, yeah, she didn't tell her sorry for true. She
Mm-hmm.
said, no, sir, you're the real deal, sir.
It makes
She
a
said, sir,
difference.
because they said to me, they said, sir, we never believe them. Say, sir, then hear them from my barn. I never see this yet. To me, but it was bad last week. But that integrity is so
It's
important
important. It is important, Fabian. Before you
because
go
I
on,
said I was wrong and I have to apologize. So we have to.
yes, before we move on, Fabian, just a moment, just a full moment. I just want to remind our listeners you're listening to Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. Remember, you can join the conversation if you are so inclined by sending us a WhatsApp message at 876 482 4944. I'm talking with my guest, Fabian. You can also link us up on Facebook and on YouTube with your questions, your suggestions. And if you have any direct questions for Fabian, you can send them to us too. We'll let him get them. And if you can big him up on Facebook also, we will read the messages to him.
Yes.
So I want
I do want to quickly add as well, because you mentioned something earlier. I also do life coaching, and I'm now finding that more parents are asking me to coach their youth.
Yes.
I'm not charge no only for money, because the reality is, if we give away all our service, we're not going to be able to eat and pay rent.
It's true.
But I believe it's important to charge a nominal, because people
reasonable.
And especially even with virtual now, we can charge less. Come in, travel, but even sometimes I do free consultations. I said, let me talk to the person, let me hear what the issue, because it may not be something for me. I'll refer the person. But the crucial thing is, are you talking to somebody? Are you getting some kind of support? Here's the other piece, Dr. Acha. Some parents, especially mothers, afraid of them son in them own a house.
It's true. So Fabian, before we go further now, I want us to be keeping with our timing in mind. I want us to talk some solutions. We are having a lot of the domestic violence going on around us. We are having a lot of things happening. We are seeing how broken our men are. We are seeing the brokenness with parents. And so for me, I talk wraparound programs. I talk about programs that try to address the different issues that we face. No one person can do all of it. So we need to start putting hands for the solutions. So let's talk some solutions this evening from a man perspective and from a human being perspective, from a Jamaican perspective. Who are heart and hurt because the problem where we see.
And I love the idea of the wraparound solutions. We are in a particular space right now with the virtual thing. And I think we have to share resources with each other when something is happening. And a lot of things are recorded, so if somebody miss it, and we share and then we share also the names of experts. People like me hold some free IG lives and have conversations, create spaces for men and boys and also women and girls, and then connect the dots. And if it's not your expertise, call Fit and get some information. Talk to the Bureau of Gender Affairs. Talk to the men's desk. Reach out to Carmen. We're also on IG. And then let's just start to actively say, what can I do? And sometimes an hour-long conversation with somebody, a half an hour conversation with a family, or something have to sit down with the mother and the father, or the two people in question. We also have to encourage each other in our spaces. Don't be a bystander. Don't turn a blind eye. If it's something you think that is over, but when your brethren, your uncle, your auntie, whoever is inappropriate and hurting people, if you can't talk to them, talk to somebody. But too much of we are laugh after the inappropriate joke then. Or we see and hear them disrespecting the young woman or the young girl, and we're laughing. We have to say, no, this is not right. We have to say, no, this is not right.
It wasn't funny before, and it's definitely not funny now because it's costing lives.
And in your spaces, in your circles, have conversation with your friends. Reach out and get resources, and then tap into organizations and places and use the internet, use the social media that are doing things, and see if people can, share. And then here's the other thing that hard. Someone I forgot call the name of people what we love.
Yes, that is true.
We have to call out the abusers. We have to get them hell. We have to say no. We cannot co-sign the victimization. We cannot co-sign the victimization. And let me tell you, teachers, we know. Let me share with you. And the teacher, we know it's a lot, We know it's a lot. But a lot of places where some of this stuff is visible earliest is in the classroom.
Yes, it's true. It's
in the class. We have to become better and more vigilant at picking up behavior, and then also calling in families and saying, here's the deal. We could talk about this. And sometimes I must
recommendation to some teachers that I know, because I know a number of teachers who they themselves may not have the skill set to intervene, but a number of teachers over the years have reached out to me to come into their
Big time.
classrooms, come
Big
into their
time.
school spaces, create programs.
Or they try, they call the
Year.
parents, they call the mother, and as you know, so many teachers are paying for school fee and food out of their pocket.
Yes.
Because if the child
Some
can't come to
awesome teachers
school,
out there.
so we and we have to make it part of our journey
Yes.
to be the and then create the spaces. Again, I don't know how else to do it. I was doing a workshop for a corporate client. It was a customer service thing, and they were doing the whole team. So it was over 4 days, at least 20 odd staff per session on their compound. And in one, and we were talking about customer service and yourself and communication.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about self. Who are you? Who are you being?
Yes.
What's your history? What are you carrying? And in one of the sessions, the majority of the participants were young men.
Mm-hmm.
And young kind of labor, who lift things and set up things and ting. And as I was going on, I noticed one young man in the back crying. And the young lady who was my workshop assistant, when I went to tea for something, she said, Mr. T, about 5 of the guys are crying,
Mm.
And this is, in the session, sit down with them brethren. And you know what I was talking about? I was talking about parental trauma.
Yes.
I was talking about things that mother and father said to them children. And about 8 of those young men started crying openly.
Yes.
One day but front in brethren, him go back and said, I cry my youth. And I said, brethren. I said, why you let down the side?
Yes.
You say you couldn't see your brethren, I cry and allow him, I just support him. Why you have to loud it up? And then I generally said to them, I said, sometimes we do that. When we see somebody healing or being open,
yes,
it makes we nervous, so we loud them up. I said, we have to get better at not doing that. I said, I never intended for this to be a space, but I know that who we are shows up in the work we do.
Yes.
I know that the burdens and the trauma, the pain we are carrying, we carry it throughout our lives.
Yes.
And I said, those of you who were moved, I said, I hope you get help. I said, you can talk to me. And I said, because it's affecting your relationships. Mm-hmm. It's going to affect how you raise your children. It's going to affect your job, your work. More and more companies, I have to say, and I'm really glad about this. Yes. 20 odd years ago, they would say, touch it, feely, rubbish. They must go and get their own head. Now,
things
I'm going to say about 80% of the workshop or sessions that I get engaged for, they want a soft skills element.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They want interpersonal communication, emotional intelligence.
And to be honest,
because they're realizing that they have qualified people, but people who are damaged, people who are broken, people who are hurting. So more companies are saying, you know what? If we can help our staff and our team be healthier, be more functional, it will improve our school. It will also improve our society and the world.
Yes.
So I just say wrap around. We have to connect the dots.
We have
to be bold, but we have to be functioning in love. So the name calling, a dirty walk, that is not healthy.
No.
And many times the actions are heinous and they make your skin crawl. But I always say the people doing these things, and we raise them.
Yes. This generation.
They might go home and eat at somebody's table. We raise them.
And what I want us to say now, Fabian, if we start to join hands, work as a team, one of the challenges we have is too many competitions going on.
Thank you.
We need ourselves to work together.
Turf and territory. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and work together that we can create that transformation we need.
Let me ask you something.
Before you move on from that, a lady called me this morning and said to me, a young man came to my house today and said to call me and ask me if he can get one of my frying pans. And she really don't know what that means. So I said, let me talk with him if he's still there. And so he's just asking, what do you know about my frying pans? And he said, Miss, me have one brethren, and he used to go through he used so bad, he used to get enough trouble, and he mother was must in a reform school. and he got one of your frying pans and he changed. So I said to him, I know this was a frying pan change of virgin, you know. So let your brethren tell you what the frying pan means to him. It's what the frying pan means to him
Thank you.
that cause him to change. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, I am not going to be home tomorrow, but Friday, you can come and check me in my office. I am not charging you, and I'll have a frying pan for you. If it's a frying pan you need. But remember, when you come, you might not leave with a frying pan. You might leave with a clothespin or a marble because I will give you what you will need. He needed a frying pan. You might not need a frying pan.
Yeah.
What we need now is to be impacting lives of our boys, our men, our girls, and our women that they will have a bridge to offer to the next person that they need. I
Very
felt
much so.
good this morning when I know I'm coming on today. I'm going to talking to with your man, and then a boy would call me, you know, for a frying pan to help him to transition his life. It meant that some impact had been made down the road and a ripple was created. And that's what we need to start have happening. A need arise in Kingston. I can't stay a country and fix it. But I should be able to call a colleague in Kingston to say, help me.
Thank you.
I had that.
And let me tell you something, and here's what we have to recognize. Sometimes it's either our burning ambition and desire to make a difference, our ego.
Yes, or
that ego. We want 500 people. Start with 5.
Call we name. So
because if you touch the lives of 2, they will go on and bless. Because I was going to say to you, tell me if we be present and pour love and blessing on our young men.
Yes.
So they know they are loved.
Yes.
So they know where they belong. Which gang can talk to them? Because I am not gone. If them know say somebody love them, and even if time hard and poverty, but them know say somebody can say, come here, fix this for me, and me give you some buy your bread. Which gang can put going on them hand?
None.
Because a lot of these boys, when you talk to them, they tell you the gang is family, you know. The gang is family.
That's it. I'm gonna say
because they say, my youth, from your role with we will have your back.
Safe. As my grandmother
once it's a place to belong.
Yes, my grandmother once said, if a ship don't have a harbor of its own, it will dock in other people's port.
Thank you.
So if we don't teach our young men and our boys how to rise and how to stand, and if they have no dock of their own, no Berwick birth, they are going to take the next offer. And then the next offer tell them to be a man, you have to be an abuser.
Or you have to go make a dopey to join the gang.
Yes. And
just pick somebody regularly and kill them. And
love will break the cycle. Love in action will break
and also that thing of the mentor, the father figure, uncle, who you can talk to, who will hold you accountable, who you can reason with, who will say, come here, young one, let me talk to you. So important. That idea of the village, crucial.
And even this time, the village still exists, we just have to create our villages.
Hey, come on now.
We can come together and create the villages for our children.
Come on now.
Mothers and fathers. And I'm going to say to our fathers, as we are talking with a man, Fabian Thomas, fathers, you know, have to live with your picnic yard to be a good father.
Thank you.
So and if you are the mother not angry, and you are the picnic not angry.
Yeah, here's the other
father.
Thing. Here's the other thing that we're finding a lot of, and it's something that we don't talk as much about. A lot of women are using denial of access to the child to hurt the father.
Yes, and inadvertently hurt their children.
There's a lot of men who are cry if you see them picnic. But because their mother angry and she vex, and then as you said, the children get caught up in it, and then it's animosity, or some of them in the child go to visit who over there, what them having at the house. Stop on the picnic in a spy, and the children them not feel guilty, they're caught in the middle. And as you said, you are 2 big people.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with your child.
No.
And here's the reality, Dr. Asha. Me know you know this. Some parents that had no business being together, the child will have a healthy environment with them separate.
No.
But you can both be parents and be active and respect each other and raise that child in a wholesome fashion.
Yes.
They can say, "Boy, mommy and daddy, it didn't work out, but we love you." And you're not disrespecting each other behind each other's back. The
Mm-hmm.
child know that this is mommy, this is daddy, they don't live together, but these are your parents.
That
So
is it.
another major issue we have in
It's
Jamaica is
true.
parenting. Parenting is a major challenge we have in
We
Jamaica.
cannot fix this without parenting. I tell
Major issue.
So Fabian, there's so many angles to look on, but time will never allow us. I'm thanking you for coming on this evening, and I want you to close us off with just give us few pointers in your closing of how do we move forward with this story.
So the first thing I'm going to say is, in the covidity of it all,
Yes.
we have to be grounded.
Yes.
We have to root ourselves in the knowledge that for such a time as this, we were created.
Yes.
We don't have no script for this. There's
Mm-mm.
no handbook for this
We are
experience.
writing the script.
And as it prolongs, people are get one go out the door. You have to say, who am I in the midst of this storm,
Mm-hmm.
of this seeming storm? Who am I meant to be? What new skills am I learning? What am I affirming and claiming for myself? So I have
Yeah.
to check in on our own mental health. How am I doing today? And some days when you feel mashed down, lay down.
Yes.
Lay
Yes.
down. Stop pretending. Stop going
I
like
have to
you
hear those
can't be
one.
on it all the time.
Yes.
And then reach out to others. Check
Yes.
in on people. How you doing? How can I help you? What you need? Then also have to check in on the children because they are going through COVID as well.
Oh, yes.
To start to talk to them. How is online school going? How are you feeling? Da, 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 da. And then keep, as you said, that village, keep that connectivity.
Mhm.
So I said to people, I do not have to like you
Thank you.
to love you.
Thank you. It's not everybody me love me like.
I do not have to like you
Yeah.
to want the best for you. You don't
Yeah.
have to be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be my friend. We don't have to agree. We don't have to vote the same way for
No.
me to affirm your highest good.
Love has no conditions.
We have to show up as love and
Mm-hmm.
call what you have power in is your inner is your circles.
Yes.
So how your friend then behave? How your best friend treating girlfriend?
Who whispering in your
What,
ear?
what, what's going on? How you see people
Mm-hmm.
treating girls in the community? Who is
Mm-hmm.
that predator in the community that you know? So you're not gonna beat them until you go to prison, but you're gonna say this can't work. So you have to change your ways.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna report you as a group. We are going to collectively say this can't work.
This can't work. You cannot walk in my circle if that's how you're going to behave.
Thank you. And when you see kids on the road all hours of night,
Listen to
because
me.
I don't know if there's a scene, there's a movie called Beloved, one of my favorite Toni Martin book. And in the story of Beloved, the mother kills her daughter in slavery because a lot of parents used to kill their children
Yes.
because them say when me go through, me no want you go through, and
Wait.
master go do. But the daughter come back and haunt her,
Mm-hmm.
come back in flesh, and she in the house and give the mother warm time. She mark her down and nobody intervene. The women them say, see, she go on like she too hyped and but you see near the end, that same circle of women said,
Yes, we have to come
can't
together.
allow this spirit child to do this to her.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they join her and they march go down on the house and they start to sing from the beginning of the lane.
Yes. I
And
watched
they go
it.
to the gate. They go to the gate and them say, Them say, no, we have to rally like that in communities.
Yes, we
Yes,
need
we think
that.
she up with it.
Fabian, before
Yes,
you go
yes,
further,
we think she better than we, but we now make that happen to her.
Fabian, Lahalia is saying hello. Lahalia Dunn is saying,
Dahelia, how you do?
hi, Lahalia. We see you.
Enough
Yeah.
love and light, Lahelia. Enough love. We are coming and Lahelia come from four.
Oh, yes, we heard she comes from far. She said, love you guys so much. Two of my
Blessings,
favorite person. Thank you, Lahalia.
blessings,
Yes,
blessings.
we have been journeying for a while. We continue to
Yeah,
journey, Lahalia. We love you.
yes.
So, Fabian, may I tell you, evening no make for the amount of bench we need for draw. But we go draw bench again. We go draw
Yes,
bench again.
yes.
You and I will be talking off the air.
Okay.
And then we will see if we bring back something. And I'll be talking to
Okay.
other person. At the end of this month, there are two of my other two guests coming on for the rest of this month.
Mm-hmm.
After they come on, me want me and you and them, and I tell you, oh, yeah, you will soon see.
All right. All right,
And
my dear.
you and them to draw a long bench and
Yes.
create a wrap around something.
Yes.
I have a vision in mind. Yes, Fabian, right now in my shelters, I have 8 women and 13 children.
Mm.
These women are running because of
Mm.
partner violence.
Yes. Yes.
These children are now exposed to domestic
Mm.
violence. And I will, by God's grace, not allow this cycle to continue with
Continue.
these
Yeah.
children.
You can't.
So I have to always be beg. Last child means a perpetual beggar. I'm a request mobilizer. So I'm always begging for support for them. But then
Yes.
think of the ones who don't get to us for help.
There
I
you
think
go.
of the ones who come and we can't help.
Yep.
This week I
Yep.
had to call Dunnery, Muirhead, and a few other persons in Kingston
Mm-hmm.
help out with a case. And eventually I did get some help. And so we have to learn now to support each other whole hand.
Yes.
Opportunities and partnerships. Make
Yes.
the pebble drop in the pan and make
Yeah.
it till change come.
And we are working on strengthening Kariman's capacity to
Yeah, I will.
be
I
a
am going to.
support in terms of
I want to talk.
behavior change, but also tangible ways. So we're working on that. Yeah, man.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. I have keep on,
Yes.
but I keep on not paying attention. I
Yeah,
think it's
man.
time I pay attention. We have to pay
Blessings.
attention
Blessings.
because we cannot heal our girls without healing our boys.
Hey, come on.
To be
Come
a
on.
cohesive outreach, wraparound change program.
Yeah.
And therefore, we have to hold each other's hand. Fabian, my friend, thank you for sitting in with me this evening.
Blessings.
I
Blessings. My
love
pleasure.
you. And
Love you. Love you.
Gillian is also send me there enough. Call me too. I will call you, Gillian. Thanks for offering. We need all hands on deck, or else this ship
Indeed.
is going to go down with us.
Yes.
This ship is, and I will not allow the ship to go down with me.
Not at all.
If each of us decide we will not allow the ship to go down with us, it won't.
Yeah.
Because it now go down with me, I don't know about you. So let's
Not at
join
all.
hands and heart together. Fabian Thomas,
Blessings.
thank you.
Blessings.
Wow, good. Stay blessed.
Thank you, my
Keep
dear. All the best.
until we change the story.
Love
Wow,
and light, my dear. Love and light.
my dear.
Julia, big up yourself.
Julia, big up yourself. All right. As we
Take
try
care.
the walk, but we'll keep in touch.
Bye.
Now see the rest, I pre them vibes are from what day. What is the reason? How them a going like some me never pour one time. My head is not up in the sky. Oh, you don't know what goes on here behind my smile. Me, I make them know every day is a choice for rise. That's how it go. Vampire try to take my life. Will not forget this voice inside. 'Cause I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Yeah. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Yeah. Talk to God and him tell me to keep on pursuing. Hold me together for he is my glue. Without him in no mood I do.
Yes. I just had on Fabian Thomas as my guest this evening. Thank him for joining Long Bench with me and we'll talk a little bit with Nam Palaver around here. We are just talking about the situation and creating transformation opportunities. I want you to join me in my affirmation this evening. The path to peace and happiness, pain and turmoil lies within our hearts. Right now, you have the power to choose. I encourage you to reach out, and touch the divine. Touch your brother, touch your sister. He's waiting to guide you to your best self. Stopping the storm seems to be the challenge, but I tell you, it is not. Learning to walk through the storm, learning by the journey and coming out strong on the other side is within your power. Reach for the storm within you, and the storm around you will calm. I am reminding you, you are not alone. I and another is right there in the dark with you, waving a flashlight to help guide you home. This evening, I challenge you. Choose to rise. Choose to take your eyes off the storm. Look within. Look up to divine. Join hands with your brother and your sister who is waiting with you. My flashlight is on. It is waving in the dark. Will you open your flashlight? Send the light out that together will guide our brothers and our sisters home. Walk good from Healing Moments this evening. We are blessed. Walk good. And remember, tomorrow evening, before I go, join Queen G on Love Story, because that is coming up. And I am looking forward to listening in and maybe make some trouble too. Who knows? So Queen Jill will be coming to join us tomorrow evening. So we look forward to that. Her guest, I love her guest. Her guest is like a daughter to me. And now me have son too, you know. You see, I live woman about son, me not have no son. Me have son, me have more than one son. Because when you have daughters, you gain sons. I tell you. And so I look forward to that program tomorrow evening. And I know it is going to be awesome. So it's goodbye from Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. I remind you, if you want to partner with us in any of the ventures that we are doing at Wellness in Motion, please give me a link at 876-870-2284 or right here at Fit FM. We will get back to you. We'll thank you for whatever gift you give. It changes a life. It sets a pace. It plants a seed. It grows. Thank you and goodbye from Healing Moments. Until next week, same time. Blessed be.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Duncan Strolorny.
Sitting in this chair, listening to your voice as you speak. Reassurance for the strong. When they are weak, when they can speak, no words to say, so they weep. I lift my hands in the air and cry, Lord. These tears they increase, but my praises won't cease. Cause I know you are in lead and you'll supply all I need. I picture me as a rose. I picture me bowing before your throne.